morning, everyone. So this is my group member, Cheong, Chee, and me, Teoh Wai San. So today I'm going to talk about media. So what is media? Media that nearest to all of us is social media. For example, everyone has their own smartphone, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Social media is also called as Web 2.0. So what is Web 2.0? Web 2.0 is the name used to describe the second generation of the World Wide Web, where it moves static HTML pages to a more interactive and dynamic web experience. So when we log into a website, the HTTP in front of the link is known as a HTML page. So here is an example. We use Facebook to check the news that happens nowadays, and we use Twitter to tweet our stories and share our thoughts, and we use YouTube to watch some interesting videos like those tutorial videos, and we use Instagram to post our photos like OOTD, and we use Snapchat to snap our daily stories like what we eat today and what we do today, and we use WhatsApp to contact with our friends, like we can discuss our assignment through WhatsApp. So what is citizen journalism? Citizen journalism is the public using the internet to spread the information. They spread the information through personal websites, blogs, microblogs, and also social media. Citizen journalists can be around us. It means that citizen journalists can be found in any time and everywhere. Citizen journalism can be a simple reporting of facts and news that is largely ignored by large media companies. It means that citizen journalism can post what they want to post, not like professional journalists. They have the rules that follow, something that can write and something that cannot be written. So, for example, some sensitive topics. And for example, police officers or city clerks could operate as citizen journalists if they were to release information about an incident. The role of citizen journalists, the first one is educating and informing the public. Citizen journalism is helpful in getting first images or reporting the story of disaster. It means that when something happens, citizen journalists can straight away take out the smartphone and take a video and or snap a photo of the incident and upload to internet so the public can straight away to look at the incident through internet. Journalists is reporting on natural disaster, always seek news feeds from the public in the citizen journalists to send updates, pictures or comments. Means journalists when journalists want to write a report, they refer to the internet that what citizen journalists have posted and write a report that more credible and valuable. So the second one is it is a platform to speak. Citizen journalists help the public to voice out their views and tell their stories. For example, they can share their thoughts through blogs, Twitter, Facebook, and also YouTube. So I'm going to show you guys a short video.
So the video just now, right, is taken by a person who are involved in this Florida school shooting. Anyone know about this case?
Yes.
Yeah, it's really it's really sad for those person who are involved in. Just now, who record that video is using Snapchat. The person used the Snapchat, record what happens, and post it on the Snapchat. That's why everyone will watch it and know what is going on the first day, because Snapchat is only happen on 24 hours, right? So current practices of journalism is truth and accuracy. As a journalism, you must find for truth, you must get the fact right is the main principle of journalism. Means you have to struggle for accuracy, give all the relevant facts they have, and ensure that they have been checked. You cannot simply give your own thoughts. You must find out the truth, then you only can publish. Second is independence. As a journalist, you cannot bias on one side. You must have an independent thought, because journalists should not act formally or informally on behalf of special interests, whether political, corporate, or culture. You know why? Because when, okay, example, if you are a journalist, there's two persons, A and B. If you as a journalist, you like A, you don't like B, then you always say good things about A, then what will happen? What will happen? Does the audience will trust you guys? Does the audience will trust journalists? No, right? Third is fairness and impartiality. While there is no responsibility to present every side in every piece, stories should be balanced and add context. You cannot add extra thoughts, extra views in your content. You only can publish what you have searched and must have proof in it. Objectivity is not always possible and may not always be desirable, but impartial reporting builds trust and confidence. If you are fair and impartiality, audience will only read our news because they only trust what we see and not how other people, like how just now it's like bias or something. Fourth is humanity. Journalists should not harm. What journalists publish or broadcast may be hurtful. They should be aware of the impact of their words and images on the lives of others. How to explain about this is, in a newspaper, right? Do you have ever see a picture with some violent, like very blood kind? Have you ever see? Or they censor it? Yeah, this is a respect. This is also a respect to the person, and they cannot publish their thing and say some bad things about the dead person. I mean, like very very rude word. Yeah. The fifth one is accountability. When journalists commit errors, they must correct the errors, and their expressions of regret must be sincere, not cynical. They may not change what readers write or say, but journalists will always provide remedies when they are unfair. Can I have a question? Like, if a journalist, right, they wrote something wrong on the newspaper, what will happen? What do you think will happen?
The public will question, is that the fact that we see or we believe?
Yep. Any other answer? Okay. So, right, can I ask you another question? A and B again, okay? They are both argue. A tell you first story, then B tell you the second story. Which one do you believe? Mostly. Which one do you trust mostly? A, right? You guys will listen to A more, right? Because you listen to story first. This is why you must take a very accountability on your own publish, because once you get wrongly, you have to take the whole responsibility of yourself. Yeah. So I'm going to pass my next slide to my mate. Thank you.
Now I'm going to discuss on our presentation title, which is The Rise of Citizen Journalism Changes the Current Practice of Journalism, and our group members answer it as yes. We have divided the effects into positive and negative. So I will discuss on the positive first. First, citizen journalism has become a secondary source of information. Things as this wrote, things that is a first-hand account, they will be considered as a primary source, and things that is interpreted is considered as secondary source. Most of the article or news report which is written by citizen journalism may include their own opinions and have their interpretation. Next, citizen journalists in the past have been responsible for breaking and reporting on exclusive worldwide news before any large news organization. As Angela has said, we can find citizen journalism everywhere and anytime, so they are good in getting the first image or the story of the disaster. As professional journalists cannot possibly be everywhere at all times. The third one is the negative effect of the rise of citizen journalism changes the current practice of journalism. Lack of objectivity on information. Being a journalism, the rules and ethics cannot be imposed, and because the citizen journalism is not an professional journalism, so that they work on the lack of objectivity on information. Next, the credibility of the information is difficult to verify. When we compare citizen journalism to professional journalism, the credibility of information is difficult to verify because we are most to like to trust on the professional one and not the citizen. Next. The effect of the rise of citizen journalism, shaping the opinion. The media has the ability to shape opinions and perceptions. Traditional media appears to be biased in the reporting news. Like through live streaming and social media updates were able to give a more holistic view of the movement for the public to shape their opinions. Like it's giving a chance for the public to shape their opinions, while through live streaming and social media to let them know how the event is actually going on. So this is an example of the effect as the movement OWS, which stands for Occupy Wall Street movement, have used the live stream to show to the public what is going on the event. The internet is allowing eyewitness reports, photos, and videos to be logged every day without censure or control, which is written by Osborne in 2011. Second, the irrelevance of traditional media. In a time of crisis, traditional media is increasingly being irrelevant. It says that citizen journalism will receive everyone's opinions, but traditional not to do that. In the Occupy movement, the emergence of bloggers has increased the transparency of traditional media by exposing errors, censoring, posturing, and acting as scholarship platforms. diversifies news coverage, particularly with the rise of social media. Citizen journalism has played an influential role in spreading information which the traditional media has not do that. As for example, as a social media influencer, these are the social media influencers are famous in Instagram, which is Brian C, Dennis Ying, and Jen Chuck, and they are doing advertising on the famous for accessories brand Adidas. The issue of ethics will come out when there is a lot of information to be shared on social media. Next, I'll pass to Chee to do the conclusion of this presentation.
Okay, so my conclusion is, does citizen journalism really help traditional journalists? Okay, very easy. It really helps if traditional journalists and citizen journalists, they combine together, they can find more news. Because citizen journalism, they has views from public, which traditional journalists, they only bias on the reporting news. They only see what news, they only see what is the proof of the news. So citizen journalism, how can it help is, maybe traditional journalists can make more friends like citizen journalism. So they have a lot of friends in different parts of the world. So when when they have some news, they pass it to the traditional journalists. Second, does citizen journalism improve our society? Yes, because as Angela mentioned just now, some of the traditional journalists, they cannot publish some issue, some sensitive issue, but citizen journalists can do it. What I say is, traditional journalists, they must publish sensitive issue. They might get fired by their boss, or maybe they will get some troubles in their working life. Yeah, this is our conclusion. Thank you very much.